Am I the asshole for getting mad at my friend for taking food meant for someone else? I, 55 female, have two friends that are involved in this. Evie, 55 female, and Joanie, 55 female. About 2 months ago, Joanie was in a car accident. She broke her leg and other bones. She was in the hospital for several weeks and came home last week. She doesn't have any close friends or family nearby. Evie and I have been helping her out. We go to the grocery store, set up her medical equipment, do her laundry, etc. While visiting Joanie in the hospital, she told me she really missed her favorite soups and foods, picnic and sandwich spreads foods, from a deli one town over. Apparently, she and Evie would go there and buy food. Yesterday, I was in the town and decided to drop by the deli to pick up some of Joanie's favorite foods. I had them put them in smaller containers so she could take them out and have quick meals. I dropped by Joanie's house and Evie was there too. Joanie was so happy with all the goodies. Evie said that the food were her favorites too, and if she had known I was going to stop there, she would have had me pick up some for her. She then took out her wallet and tried to buy some of the food off me. I told her no, I bought it for Joanie. I thought she would drop it. However, right before she left, she asked Joanie if she could take a couple containers of food home with her. Joanie told her okay. Evie looked at me and asked me if I was cool with it. I was floored and said, "It's a gift I brought for Joanie, she can do what she wants." Evie took 2 containers of food. She then gave Joanie a big hug and said, "I can't wait to come back tomorrow. We will have a feast for lunch." After she left, Joanie thanked me again for the food. Joanie told me shouldn't have done it, that she knew how much it probably costs and wanted to give me the money for it. I told her no, that is not how gifts work. I told her I couldn't believe Evie some of her food. Joanie said she couldn't either but was afraid to tell her no. Joanie is concerned that she would make Evie mad and she would stop helping her. I told her not to worry and I was a phone call away if she needed me. I stay a few more hours then went home. I must admit I am fuming. Evie can easily go to the store or send her boyfriend to get food from the deli. Joanie is housebound for another 6 weeks. She can't go get the food herself. I wanted to yell at Evie but I didn't think it was my place. I can't believe how incredibly selfish she was. So I decided to send Evie a text this morning. "Hello. Yesterday you took some of the food I brought from the deli for Joanie and before you left you said you were coming back to today to have a feast for lunch. Please do not eat the food I brought for Joanie from the deli. I picked it up specifically for her so she could make herself small meals when we are not there. As you know, the deli is out of town and the food is expensive. I realized you offered to buy some of the food, but that is not the point. Joanie cannot get to the store. I bought the food to help her out. Instead of eating her food, we should our own food to eat there. Thanks." Evie never replied. Evie lives on her phone. I know she's seen the text, but she never answered. I went to check on Joanie today. I asked the usual about how she was doing, could I do anything for her, etc. Joanie was happy to see me, but I could feel something was off. I asked her if something was wrong. Evie was there the day before and apparently spent the entire time ranting about me. Evie told Joanie about the text and what I wrote to her. Evie said, "What does she expect me to do, help you make lunch and eat nothing while you are stuffing your face?" Joanie told her it was okay and she could eat too. Evie made lunch for both them, then after they ate, Evie made her a sandwich and took a soup to go. There was hardly any of the food I brought left. Mind you, I bought enough food to make multiple meals. I was livid. I told Joanie I was sorry Evie took it out on her because she was mad at me. I told her she shouldn't have to put up with this while recovering. Joanie told me she felt bad because it was all her fault that Evie was so mad at me. And it wasn't about the food. Evie is mad at me because I would spend hours visiting Joanie at the hospital and at the rehabilitation center but didn't spend that same time to visit Evie at her house. What the actual fuck? Let me give you some background. I work from home. I barely have time to watch TV. Since I am always working, I never go anywhere. Except Evie's house. Evie has parties at her house every Friday and Saturday. There is about 8 of us in the group. It's nothing fancy. Just a group of people getting together and sitting by Evie's garden next to her fish pond. Most of the group smokes a certain herb and gets drunk. I don't drink or smoke. And I do not care if they do. We are all adults, they can do what they want. I go for the friendship. Although I stopped going about 6 months ago. I know this bothered Evie, but I still talked and texted her. When Joanie had her accident, she was hurt bad, totaled her car, spent a couple weeks in the hospital, then 4 weeks in rehab. Evie and I would visit her in the hospital and rehab. Unfortunately, Joanie got really depressed. Sometimes when I stopped by to see her and she would be crying. I couldn't take seeing her so sad. So I started to visit her every other day. I would stay for a couple hours. I have the gift of gab. I can spend hours talking about nothing and everything. Now that Joanie home, Evie and I switch days to help her out. And unfortunately, besides Evie, no one else out of the group ever came around. Well, apparently my visiting Joanie caused a bug to crawl up Evie's butt and set her off. Evie is mad that I would spend hours visiting Joanie but stopped coming to her parties or rarely dropped by her house. Evie also told Joanie she didn't think it was right that I would come to her parties, but I never stopped by the deli to buy her food like I did Joanie. I did take food to the parties, just not from the deli. I told Joanie that Evie being mad at me was absolutely not her fault. That I am an adult and if I wanted to go to Evie's I would. I let Joanie know there are 2 reasons I stopped going to Evie's parties. One is last time I was at Evie's everyone was pretty high. I was sitting next to Evie when she yelled, "Shotgun." I turned to look at her and she blew smoke right into my face. Evie then said she was going to get me high even if I didn't want to. No one is going to blow smoke in my face. I got up, told everyone goodnight and walked out. Evie tried to stop me but I just left. After I explained the other reason, Joanie said she understood. I told Joanie I would talk to Evie. Joanie asked me not to. Joanie didn't want to make her mad. I told her Evie was already mad and we are adults, not high teenagers. I then told Joanie not to worry. It was going to be okay. She could call me whenever she needed me. I stayed for a couple hours and had Joanie laughing before I left. Now I am fuming. I am trying to decide how to handle this. I think I am too mad to call, but I know Evie won't answer a text. But that is not going to stop me. Evie is definitely getting an earful. She needs to get her head out of her ass. What do you think? Call or text? Also, fuck that bitch. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next story.